Hi, Tony here, welcome to the channel. Now, I've been wearing Keis heated gear for a couple of years. Initially, it seemed like a bit of a faff with more stuff to worry about, connecting cables, all that kind of other stuff. But I have grown to love it, and I've grown to see the real benefit in wearing heated gear over the winter. So I thought I'd share some of that with you, and I'll also take a look at some of the products in the Keis range. Now, with this kind of review, you can fall into the trap of getting a little bit too technical and talking too much about the materials and on all of those bits and pieces before, and I have covered that off in the previous reviews, but I'll recap it briefly before getting out on the bike, because the most important thing is how they actually work out in the field. Let's very quickly knock off the main technical point, and that's how the heat is generated. These jackets used far infrared technology. There are microcarbon fiber elements placed around the jackets in panels. All of the garments are powered by a 12-volt supply, so that means either directly from the bike, or it can be powered from an additional 12-volt power pack, or 12-volt batteries if you want to use those in the gloves as a standalone. All the connections are the same as well, so it doesn't matter what piece of kit you buy in the Keis range or when you buy it, they will all connect together very easily. And you've got a couple of options for controllers. So there's a standard push button controller that I've been using on a jacket for a while. There's a new Bluetooth version which has just been released, and I've been using that on this particular jacket, and I've used that in this video. That offers you Bluetooth connectivity so you can control it from your phone. But don't worry, you've still got the same push button on there as well. So if you just want to do it manually, you can still do that. Now, I'm already feeling myself falling into the trap of going into too much detail, so I'll back away from that a little bit, hit you with a couple of other points that I think are important. Keis is a UK company. All of these items are designed in the UK, and everything is run out of their base in Hampshire. Secondly, so confident are Keis of their clothing and equipment that every item in the range has got a lifetime warranty. Now that can't be bad. So I thought it's going to be better to talk about these out on the bike rather than rabbiting onto you in the man cave. Let's start with the Lobster gloves, and we'll start with the comfort. Now, these are an incredibly comfortable pair of gloves to wear. If you're not used to wearing split finger gloves, it might take a little bit of getting used to on the bike, because you obviously don't have that individual dexterity. Inside of the gloves, each finger is separated. Each finger individually is in like a little pocket, so your fingers are not touching each other. That adds to the warmth, but obviously you've got them 2 and 2 split. So for me, that's fine. I tend to either brake or use the clutch with 2 fingers or all 4 fingers if I really need to brake hard. If you're a 1 finger clutch person or a 1 finger brake person, you're just going to have to get used to using the 2 fingers. One of the beauties of heated gear in general, particularly in gloves, is that because they've got the heating element to them, you don't need to have a really bulky glove. So although there is obviously insulation in the glove, and these in particular are quite a warm glove on their own, it's not heavy and bulky. I've got a really nice feel on the controls. That Lobster glove still gives you the ability to be able to get hold of zip pulls or work switches or whatever. There is a drawback to these, and that is if you want armour in your glove, then you're not going to get it. You've got the hard scaphoid protector here, but there's no armour in the knuckles at all, and I think these are really designed for much colder weather conditions. These I think are the warmest gloves in the Keis lineup. But yeah, if knuckle armour is a must, then it's the other individual finger gloves in the range that you'd have to look at. But if you want maximum warmth and comfort, then these are the ones to go for. The other thing I like about these gauntlet style gloves is just how easy they are to pull off and on. If you've ever faffed around with trying to tuck cuffs in and put them in and pull your sleeves over and everything, these are, take those off, and actually you get that string on there, so a bit like the gloves you had as a kid through the arms. You can't drop and lose your glove, but you can do whatever you need to do. Then it's just a case, shove your hand in, pull it over the top, and away you go. In terms of controls, they're also very easy as well. The one thing I like about these Keis gloves is the controller for the glove is kind of sticks up and is very easy to access. So a quick press and hold and it goes straight away onto the hottest setting. Another press is a medium setting, another press is the green setting. But because they're sticking out as well, if you don't want to take both hands off the handlebars to switch them on, which to be honest you should be switching them on before you start, but because they do stick out, you've got the ability, I find, just to press and hold them on the end of the bars and you can change. It works really well. Now I'm wearing these in conjunction with the G301, I think it is, the full sleeve jacket. So it's connected in the sleeves. I've got these little cables here that run out from the top of the glove into the sleeve of the jacket. I'll show you those in a little bit more detail, or indeed we'll cut away to a detail of that. And I'm using the new Bluetooth controller down here, which controls the heat for the jacket. And I've also got the socks on, and they're connected to a separate connector in the jacket as well. And obviously the beauty of having the controls on the gloves and this separate controller is that you can have the jacket and the gloves at a separate temperature. But it appears, and I might be wrong, but I'll try and check it, if you want the jacket on low and the socks on high, or vice versa, you can't do that. They've got to be set at the same temperature. Now of course the benefits of this over the top style gauntlet glove is really good, but it does mean you've got that cable exposed. Now the cables in the jacket are long enough to go under the cuff, back out over the top of the glove and plug in. It's a pretty neat system in that respect. You just have to be careful that you're not going to catch those cables. But what if you don't want that? What if you'd rather have a glove that sits inside the cuff? Then there is obviously an alternative for that, and that solution is these, which is the G301 Shorty, a much shorter, thinner cuff. So these don't have the facility to put a battery in the cuff like the bigger 701s do, so it means that they're limited to being used in conjunction with the jacket, or indeed with a cable connected to a power pack in your pocket. So let's go for a ride in these and I can tell you all about them. Construction wise they're the same. These ones do have knuckle armour in, and they also have a touch sensitive finger point, which is something you don't have in the Lobster gloves. To be honest, I find these a little bit hit and miss anyway. These are brand new out of the box. They only arrived this morning, so this is the first ride, and already they're not feeling like they're big bulky new gloves that you've got to break in for a little while. They're comfortable straight out of the box. And again, that goes back to the point about, because they are heated, they don't have to have tons and tons of insulation in them. So what you do get is a lightweight, flexible glove with good protection. There's a little bit of insulation in there, but not so much that they feel bulky and you don't have good feel on the controls. These are just as good as any kind of mid-season glove that I've tried before, and the fit's really good as well. I'm normally a size 9, which I think is a medium, and that's the gloves that I ordered, and they fit spot on. There's also a visor wipe on here. I don't really think they do very much, particularly a little widdly one like that. The only problem I have had with these is when I've got something in mind, I've gone to rub it, and my natural instinct is to use the inside of that finger, and if you've got a visor wipe on there, you only do that once. It's quite a painful experience. On the hottest setting they get really warm very quickly, and I tend to, when I first switch them on, put them on the red setting, get the heat up, and then flick them down to the lower setting and then just maintain the heat. And the same can be said for the jacket. If you are going to invest the money that you need to invest into heated gloves like this, these will work in the winter, but you're going to wear them in the autumn and the spring as well without any power to them, and I think that's good. It's not a case of having to have a specific set of heated gloves and then your normal gloves. These can be your normal gloves and then use them with heat in the winter. They're waterproof, they're comfortable, they're lightweight, they're thin. I really like them. I think these are going to be the main heated gloves that I wear, and I'll save the Lobster gloves for much colder weather. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I have been wearing Keis heated gear for coming up for a couple of years now. In the past I'd always kind of been a little bit reticent of it. I'd kind of like, it's a bit of a faff, plugging it in, cables everywhere, and I would tough it out. I'd go, yeah, no, it's not that bad, and I'd layer up, and you'd end up going out on cold days being really bundled up, not being particularly comfortable and then still really getting cold in the end anyway. But I have to admit, having now worn and used this, it's a real game changer. It just means that you can actually dress more lightly even though you're going out in really cold weather. So today I've got a Knox Jacob base layer on, long sleeve base layer. I've got the Keis 501, and then over the top of that I've got this Revit component H2O jacket, which hasn't got any lining. It's just a waterproof outer shell. It's got armour in the shoulders and the elbows. I'm incredibly comfortable. I don't feel bundled up, but I'm not getting cold at all. And I love riding all year round, and I'm not saying that, I'm not one of those people that goes, oh, I'm a real biker, I ride all year round. I just love riding bikes. So if I get a day like today where the sun's out but it's cold, I'm still more than happy to get out and ride. And what the heated clothing does just allows me to do that in complete comfort. Whee, icy there. But one thing I like about Keis is that it's a complete package. What you're doing is essentially buying a component of a bigger family of bits that all fit together really well. And I think that means that going forward, as they bring new products through, they're still all going to work together very nicely, and they've got a whole range of accessories as well. So I'll put a link in the description to their website to go and have a look at it. I'm not trying to sell the products to you. This is the same as every one of my other reviews. I just try and do an honest, open opinion of these products. Now if you want to go away and buy some based on this review, or just a review that's kind of pushed you over the edge over looking at other stuff, then fine, then click on the link and go ahead and buy it. I do get a little bit of a kickback from that, but I'm not here to say this is the best thing since sliced bread just to try and earn some money off of it. I've been riding in it, as I say, for a while, and I've found it to work really well. So I've got the wires that come out of the cuffs at the end, I've got the wires for the power supply and the control at the bottom. There's another plug there to be able to plug the trousers or the socks into. It's all pretty neat. The only thing you have to deal with is the cable. I've just got this plugged into the 12-volt socket there and plugged straight into the jacket. There's a little fuse holder, inline fuse holder on there, so that you can get that fusing correct. The cable's long enough to be able to reach the jacket, and you can get off the bike. As long as you don't step away from it, you can still be connected. That's not really a problem, but it's not so long that you've got a big cable hanging around. I've obviously thought about it, so I've just got it here sat down the side. That's the only thing you have to be careful of, not catching that. And I guess that's a good point for me to finish this bit of the review on, as to the importance of heated gear, or the importance of staying warm on the bike. We've all had rides where we've been slightly unprepared and the end of the fingers are going cold or the toes are going cold, and the faster that comes on, the less concentration you have on the road, because you're spending all of your time concentrating on how cold you're getting and how you can stop that, and it becomes an all-consuming problem. If you keep your extremities warm and your core warm, then you can put all of your concentration into the road riding, which when you're riding in the winter is the most important thing. The reality is, the warmer you are on the bike in the winter, the safer you're going to be. Okay, that's the preaching over. Let's head back to me in the cave to finish off. So if you are interested in giving heating clothing a go, I hope this video has been useful. I've tried to cover all the key parts. If you've got any questions though, do pop them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to come back to you as soon as I can with any answers. If you like the video, hitting the like is great. The more subscribers they get, the more content I can bring you. So if you haven't done that already and you'd like to follow this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And all that leaves me to say is, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.